Boise is considered a seller's market right now. And I just am wondering, do you know what that means? Not only do you know what a seller's market means, but do you know what it means to you as a buyer? Well, we have a hot real estate market, and I want to give you 5 tips on how to buy in a seller's market. Hi, I'm Charlotte with Birch & Cedar Realty Group. So, Boise is considered a seller's market. Do you know what a seller's market means? And do you know what that means to you as a buyer trying to buy in a seller's market? Well, I want to give you 5 tips today, so let's talk about it. First, let me explain what that means. So in order to determine what kind of market we're in, you just need to know how many months of inventory we have on the market. And in order to get that number, you basically take a look at the last 12 months of homes that sold. And you divide that number by 12 to get the average number of homes that sold per month. And at any given time, you can take that number and divide it into the number of active listings we have on the market. And that will give you the number of how many months of inventory we have. If no additional homes come on the market, that's how many months of inventory we have left. That's the number that determines what kind of market condition, what kind of market we're in. Generally, 0 to 3 months is a seller's market, 4 to 6 is a neutral market, and anything above that is a buyer's market. Did you know that the market condition is not the same across all price points? In one price point, there might be a large number of homes, whereas in another price point, there might be a scarcity. So it's really important for you as a buyer to know what kind of market you actually are in your price point. So from a buyer perspective, you might be wondering, well, why does it really matter? Well, it's important for you to know what kind of market you're in, because depending on what kind of market you're in, the details on what constitutes a good offer are different. You need to know what kind of market you're in so that you and your agent can write the right offer on the home that you love. So make sure that your agent understands this and can explain it to you. Okay, so I promised 5 tips, so let's dig in. Sellers need to know that you are a serious buyer. They're smart. They're not going to want to take their home off the market unless they know that you're a serious buyer and you have the funds. So make sure that one of the first steps in the process while you're looking for a home is to get pre-approved. Now, I did a video on pre-qualification versus pre-approval, and you can check that out here, but make sure that pre-approval is one of the first things that you do when you're looking for a home. I recommend writing a list. On this list, you're going to want to have things that are must-haves for you as well as deal breakers. And this is helpful because not only will it narrow down the list of homes from all of the homes that are on the market, but as you're going through a home, it will really help you determine whether or not it's a potential fit for you. No home will have 100% of the things that you're looking for. Even if you do a custom build, I can guarantee you as soon as you move into that home, there's going to be one thing that you wish you had done differently. But if you get about 80% of the things that you really want, you're in good shape. So having that list ahead of time really helps you know whether or not it's checking all the right boxes. In many price ranges, inventory can go really quickly. It can be listed and go pending same day. So you need to be ready to go look at a property and then write an offer on that property immediately on the spot if it's a good fit. So my recommendation is for you to find an agent that does virtual tours. This way you're not having to leave work every single time you have a property that might be a good fit. You take a look at the virtual tour, and if it really is a good fit, then you can leave work and go take a look at it and then write that offer if you need to. Check out my video here to see how my process works. This tip is twofold. Now, a seller's market is not a market in order for you to try to find a steal. Now, what I mean is that while everybody wants to get the most bang for their buck, and they don't want to pay more for a home than they have to, putting in a lowball offer in a seller's market, not a good idea. No matter what market you're in, you want to make sure that your agent is running a comparative market analysis on that home that you're looking at and you're getting ready to put an offer in on. And that will help you determine whether or not the list price is an accurate price and in the right range. Once you know that list price is accurate, you're going to want to take a look at what else is happening in the market in that price range. Whether or not you're in a multiple offer situation or not, if that list price is a good price, know that you're going to at least need to match it. If you're in a multiple offer situation, You need to really consider what you will offer as far as the sales price. But, and this is really important, and also the second part of this tip, is you also need to think about the other components that go into making a good offer. Here's what I mean. Now, there are a lot of buyers and unfortunately some agents that think that the sales price is the only thing that matters to a seller. That's not true. There's actually a lot of factors to consider. Putting more earnest money down, finding ways to make the whole process less hassle for the sellers. For example, if the sellers need to stay a little bit longer, you can actually extend your closing date. It's important to have your agent call the seller's agent to make sure that they understand what's important to that seller so that your offer can be adjusted accordingly. This is especially important when you're in a multiple offer situation so that the seller can see that you are a human being on the other side of that offer. There's a couple of things that you want to include. First, the love letter. You want to appeal to that seller. So you want to talk about your family and the things that you like about the home. And if you have specifics, like you really are excited to have your family barbecue in the backyard with all of the amazing landscaping that they've done, I mean, I'm sure that took a lot of work. And to know that you're going to enjoy that backyard as well, it can mean a lot to some sellers. Being specific here is important. The more that you put into the letter about how much you're going to enjoy the home, the more possible appeal that you'll have to that seller. Now, unfortunately, with the environment that we're in right now, I recommend adding an additional letter. A lender called this the Corona Resistance Letter, and I think that's fitting. Sellers want to know that if they pick your offer, it's not going to fall through. If you can reassure them that your job and your financial situation is stable, your offer will be stronger. Now, I'm a big proponent of video, so if you're open to doing a video on top of your letters, you'll be rocking. They'll get to see you, and it's all about the face-to-face. One bonus tip, have patience. A seller's market can mean that in some price ranges, it's all about multiple offers and stiff competition. Use these tips, focus on your goal, and soon you'll be moving into a home that you love. I hope this was helpful. As always, like, subscribe, and click that little bell. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.